Hi guys, Mike from pegdownracing.com here, and we just got a short video here today on what you get with your Gyrocam and the first steps of how to use it. So of course in your kit you're going to get the Gyrocam mount itself, and you'll see that it has the standard GoPro mounting legs there to fit within any GoPro mounts that you'll have. You also have the power switch here to provide power on and off to the Gyrocam, a few nuts and bolts to connect the door of your protective case to the mount, and a power cable with which you can provide power from the motorcycle's battery to the mount itself. So we're going to use these 4 holes here of the gyro mount to bolt through some drilled holes in the case. So your door won't have any holes in, of course, at the moment, so you're going to bring the door over to the Gyrocam mount, and then looking from the rear, holding the case door in approximately as the middle of the mount as you can, we need you to mark through using a marker pen or screwdriver or something with which to mark your 4 holes, and then you're going to take a 3.5 to 4 mil drill bit and drill those 4 holes, and you should see that your screws fit nicely through the door, and then mount it on there and you'll be ready to power up. Right, so here we have the case door mounted onto the mount with the screws and bolts provided, and all you need to double check is that there is sufficient room at the top for the clip of the main case to clip over, and room at the bottom for the hinge to still work on the bottom of the GoPro itself. And as long as you get them roughly in the middle of the side and of the top, then you're going to be fine with that. Another thing to note is when you are mounting the door on the newer version of the Gyrocam, as you'll see here, the USB port should sit on the left hand side of the camera when it's mounted. On the older style Gyrocams, if you have one of those, the USB port would poke out the bottom. Right, next step then will be to attach the GoPro camera, which is pretty simple. You've got the door there now, so we're just going to bring the camera in, clip it onto the hinge at the bottom, and then you'll have all done this anyway, but bring the clip over the top and secure it down. And there you have it, your GoPro camera is nice and securely mounted to the Gyrocam mount. So what I'm going to do now is show you what you're going to do when you boot up the Gyrocam. This is every time you power it up. You're of course going to use your power switch in line with the power supply. It should be obvious which way the plugs go around. Red to red, of course. They'll only fit in one way, so that's good. Here I'm using a small lithium polymer battery. We recommend using the 1000 milliamp hour size and a 3-cell LiPo, which is roughly 12 to 14 volts. Now, importantly, when you're going to boot this up, you should not allow the camera, the mount, to be subject to any movement, whether that be you holding it in your hand or having it on the bike with the engine running. This is because the sensors on board are very susceptible to any movements. So here I am, I'm booting it up, I'm not touching it, it's staying perfectly still, and there we go. It's booted up and it's working fine. That's how to do it. You must have the Gyrocam perfectly still throughout the boot up procedure, and once it clicks into level, job done and you're ready to go. So here's a quick demonstration of if you do power it up and you're allowing it to move. This again could be the engine running, the vibrations are coming through the bike, or you simply, I don't know, holding it in your hand, messing around with it. It's simply not going to boot up at all. It's going to be looking at the sensors and waiting for zero movement before it'll allow it to boot up. As you can see, nothing's happening. The motors are not activated, and so it's, you know, loose. If I just leave it perfectly still, there we go. The thing boots up and you're off and running. So that's why we're saying you have to keep the thing still during the boot up process. Here's another quick demonstration of what you might do if your Gyrocam happens to boot up and the camera has flipped upside down. So I've just booted this up. My camera is upside down. Now, as you'll see, the Gyrocam still works fine, but for some reason during boot up the camera's flipped 180. What do? Well, you simply grab it, spin it around 180, off you go. All that's happened is that it's energized a little quickly and the camera's flipped and it stayed there. It's not a problem. As I say, it doesn't happen every time, maybe occasionally, and if it does, simply grab hold of the camera, flip it around. You'll feel the motor fight you a little, but it's not going to cause any damage. So there you go, that's all you need to do. Here's another quick thing you shouldn't do, and that's booting it up without the camera mounted, and we'll switch to the video to hear why.
After a moment it's kind of going. Can you hear that noise? What's happening now is it's overtuned. And if I took this door off, this door is actually helping me at the moment. If I took the door off, the thing would be bouncing around all over the place because the actual load of the camera is not present, and therefore it doesn't control it properly.
So simply always boot it up with the camera mounted and you won't have any problems. Okay, so you're now ready to go and take it out to the bike and connect up to the motorcycle battery. So taking the power cable provided, we're simply going to connect the rings on the end of the cable to our battery, and it should be fairly obvious. All our batteries these days have clearly marked the negative, positive terminals. Our black cable is going to the negative terminal of the battery, and of course the red is going to the positive terminal of the battery. So just make those connections nice and snugged up and you will be ready to power up the Gyrocam from the motorcycle battery. So here I am with the power switch, plugging it in with the cable from the battery. Again, only going one way. Pop that in there, flip the switch, allow it to boot up, and there we go, good to go. Obviously route the power cable from the battery in a nice safe place. Try and take it away from any possible areas where it's going to get trapped by any fairings or the petrol tank, etc. And you'll be good to go. Okay, and finally, just a few things to remember when mounting the Gyrocam mount to your bike. As with mounting any camera to your bike and going over our lovely smooth British roads or hooning around track days and things like that, you're going to want this to be mounted in a secure position. When I mean secure, I mean somewhere that's not going to be affected too badly by vibrations coming through either from the engine or from the road conditions themselves. Somewhere sturdy basically is what we're saying, not on the end of any loose fairing. Maybe your tail unit is a little bit wobbly. you're not going to get good footage from any camera by mounting it onto those positions. So find somewhere secure to mount it. This thing is packed with accurate sensors, which, you know, if you're going to subject it to harsh vibrations, it's just not going to perform as well as it could do. So it's in your best interest to find a nice secure place to mount it. And then it goes without saying that it's a good idea to come up with some kind of tethering system, so that should the GoPro base itself fail, or the adhesive bases that come with the mounts, they just need perhaps a secondary tethering system just for your own peace of mind, that this thing is not going to go bouncing down the track or down the road. But yeah, other than that, guys, thank you for watching. Enjoy your gyrocams. Look forward to any footage that you send in to us, guys. We're always happy to have a look and to see anything new you might have done with yours. And we wish you all the best with your gyrocam mount.